And welcome back to another Faction video for the Faction YouTube channel, and hopefully I can give this over to Ian and we can get this on the pod as well. But we have a very special guest with us today, here to talk about the Faction Champs 2021, which actually took place this year, but yeah, COVID's an annoying thing. But no, we have a special guest here today. We have the man himself, the streamer who streamed in 4 years ago. We have Nathan. What's your nickname? What do you go by?
What, Bronson?
Bronson? Yeah, okay. We'll go. Not that I've ever actually heard you call you Bronson in real life.
Just Jono.
Yeah. Sounds like a very Jono thing. But yes, okay, so we have Nath here to talk about the Faction Champs and what's just gone past. What was it, about 2 weeks ago? Two and a half weeks ago now? In Diamond Creek, beautiful day. It was very, very hot, but they had some good aircon in that place. So yeah, we're going to have a chat about that. So yeah, the Faction Champs is a team-only event essentially, apart from a couple of very special invites that Hoodie likes to throw out.
A couple of ring-ins, yeah.
And it's multiple formats, and yeah, we basically what we're looking for is a bit of team kill action. We like to team-only event where we can all play against each other and determine a yearly champ, and basically it's all about the bragging rights.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's 100% why it was kind of birthed in the first place. Is it's always better to win, but it's even better to win against your friends. So.
Yeah. I think that's Hoodie's.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he loves beating up on us. Not that he does it that much, but yeah. Yeah. And as I said, it took place in Diamond Creek. So yeah, I should have another slide here. So yeah, we did. We always do multiple formats for these faction major events. We generally do 2 to 3 majors a year. We're trying to do 3 at the moment because we're trying to catch up. But yeah, so always multiple formats, and we like to do a lot of limited, as some people in the team certainly detest. But no, we throw in some Highlander as well. So yeah, we did Crimson Vow draft, 3 rounds of that, 4 rounds of a 7-point Highlander, and Highlander is definitely the team favourite for our constructed format at the moment.
Yeah.
Lots of people playing it, building decks for it, and getting around it. So pretty popular at the moment, and especially with no competitive events in any other formats. So that's sort of where we've ended up. And yeah, we did a top 8, which was also VAR draft. We do find draft to be a very good determination of skill, as well as Highlander. To be honest, Highlander's bloody hard. Going 0-4, I definitely can attest to that. You were on the opposite end of the spectrum, but
yeah. At least for that part of the day.
We'll talk about that later.
So we don't like to split it right because different people in the team have different skill sets or interests, and gives everyone a bit of a taste.
Yeah. We started off very much in the limited foray of the team, but there's definitely a lot of constructed guys that have jumped on board.
Absolutely.
And it's good. It's good because we do need to be strong in both areas if you want to be a good Magic player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something I'm still working on 20-something years into the game.
Yeah, who needs constructed?
So yeah, we started off with the VAR draft. We had 3 rounds of that. So we'll talk about that in a sec. You want to talk about the venue at all and just the atmosphere and that sort of stuff?
The venue was phenomenal. I rocked up on, I think, Friday night, and it's this big open farm, basically.
Yeah, it's huge.
So when you drive in, you drive past a couple of horses and a
donkey,
which was always a great way to start a weekend.
Yeah, I think we might have found a team mascot in there. You guys definitely made friends with that.
We definitely made friends with the donkey.
Coffees in the morning out with the donkey. Yeah.
We'll post some donkey photos on the Twitter. But the venue was fantastic. It's a huge building basically that just kept going on forever, and everyone got a bed, which was kind of surprising when you're talking about this number of people.
Yeah.
Considering how warm it was even quite refreshing.
That's what I thought. I thought every room had an aircon. Yeah. I didn't think it was bad at all. Like, you walk outside, it was 30-something degrees, and it was not hot in that house with 20 blokes.
No, some rooms are warmer than others, but yeah.
Yeah. The room where everyone was going in and out of the whole time was a bit warm, but it was still perfectly fine, I found. So
yeah, absolutely.
No dramas there.
Yeah, big shout out to everyone that put in some effort. I know a lot of the boys were doing the cooking, so we put on a lot of the food, and yourself obviously for organising the event and the venue and the food. But everyone seemed to pitch in, and got it all clean, which is good. No shame we got whatever the bond or the hold was back, so that's always
no stress at there at all. I think we actually left it cleaner than when we went in.
Too,
yeah. So that all worked well. But yeah, no, it was a great spot. Potentially could use it again. I've noticed that the bloke has put the price up about $100 a day, which isn't that much. No. But yeah, it's definitely. I think it's quite a new Airbnb, so hopefully it stays that way for a while. And I can actually use it.
Quite a nice roster of venues.
Different venues. I've got another one that I'm keen on getting as well for an invitation or somewhere down the line. So no, we're looking good. But yeah, no, that'll work well, and plenty of tables, plenty of room, and plenty of drinks, plenty of food. Subway and pizzas we had. Able to drop down and get that from 5 minutes away. Yeah, it was great. And everyone bought an esky. There's lots of eskies there,
yes.
and plenty of drinks and table tennis table, poker table.
Highlander makes you thirsty. So
definitely.
Big esky up and take it with you to the next feature match.
Losing makes you thirsty. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I felt a bit of that in the first couple of rounds.
Well, that's what we're about to talk about. So we're going to start off by talking about the VAR draft. So we had 2 pods of 10.
That sounds right.
2 pods of 10, so yeah, 2 long tables. And we definitely thought there'd be a few 3-0s with that many people in the pods, but no, the people that seemed to get paired down lost 2 of them. So we had 2 3-0s after the 3 rounds. We had Rob and Gary managed to pull it out, and Rob had money on Gary to actually do the 3-0, and that was not expected because Gary had barely picked up a VAR card.
I think he might have been the only person in the room, including Gary, that thought that Gary would 3-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Gary thought he would, but he certainly did a good job.
Absolutely.
Beat Alex for the 3-0, and that's no mean feat. Alex's deck looked pretty good, and Gibbo and I were also in that pod, and we had some sick decks. But Gibbo got mana screwed against Alex in round 1, and then Gibbo cleaned me up in round 2. He had the the green guy, the 2 green for a 4/4 haste that you can monstrosity it to give all your dudes +1/+1 and make it a 7/7.
Oh yeah.
I think it's rare or mythic, I don't know. Yeah. But he had that, and he also had the red green Helena and partner.
Yeah, that card's very good. Yeah.
And yeah, they both did a number on me. I won 1 game against him when I cast my Toxel. And the other 2 games he was too fast for me.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, that was a good. But I think Gibbo and I had very, very good decks in that pod, which could easily have got there. But limiteds can definitely bounce one way or the other. But we both got the 2-1. So yeah, and then in the other pod, there was obviously Rob, crushed. He beat Trent.
I believe so.
I did hear Trent complaining about a bit of variance in one of those games.
Yeah.
But that happens, as it did in our pod. So yes, it's definitely. But some very strong names got off to pretty good starts there. Kynan,
definitely.
Leo, Giro, Dogan, all very, very good limited players. What happened with you? Just didn't come together.
I guess my half of the 10-man pod. So Kyle and I think a few other people. We didn't really have particularly strong booster packs that open.
Yeah.
With 10, it's kind of hard to wheel cards.
Definitely.
And so I think I was potentially in the right colours, but it just didn't come together. So.
You're red black, yeah.
I was red black, yes.
Yeah.
My deck was,
which is a very hotly contested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Colour pack.
But also black being one of the.
But also the 2 deepest colours. But yeah,
so just didn't come together, and
with a couple of inexperienced guys in the pod, it can happen that they know red black's the best. They go heavy for that sort of thing. I know, was Papak in your pod?
I can't
remember. But he said to me going into the draft he was forcing red black.
Okay, yep.
So I'm not sure if he actually ended up that way, but
I don't think he was in my pod. But just didn't come together. It wasn't my day in terms of limited. 50-50 things didn't go my way.
Not enough bog striders in the format.
Definitely not enough bog striders. Would have definitely threw out that format. So I went and had a good shower to wash off all the.
Did you really?
Yeah. After the 03. Lost some particularly close games to Kyle and Chissa, so
yeah,
they were good games. Just sometimes you don't win.
Yeah, I mean that's Magic, right? That's 2 pretty tough opponents. Chiss was in Mythic and Kyle's just a Magic god. So even if he hasn't been playing,
absolutely.
So and I'm sure he loves beating up on you as well. So.
Absolutely, yes. So I mean, aside from obviously my 03, which was a little bit surprising maybe to myself, maybe to others, I think the rest of it kind of broke maybe the way we expected it. Maybe just you know, some people got some wins, some people 2-1. You know, I think 2-1 in this format's probably a really good
I'm not
outcome.
surprised about any of those names, 2-1ing or 3-0ing there, except Gary, to be honest. Well done, Gaz.
Gary,
Pulled it out, but that was good.
Jono getting a win was a good surprise.
No, well, John and I put some work in.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of him. I thought he was 1-0.
Okay.
So I was hoping he was going to play out 2-1. He obviously couldn't get that that third win, or sorry, second win. But yeah, no, getting a win in limited. I think it's his first one.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a faction major, so only ways up for him, I think.
Definitely.
If he picks a decent deck, because he can play some instructive when he wants to. If he picks a decent deck, I think he can be a force. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of events to come, so let's see how he goes. Moving on to Highlander, what was your deck choice?
I picked Rug, tried and true Rug, but I had a pretty good understanding of, you know, a lot of the people and you know, whether they would try and pick something that's a meta deck or have some bias that I could kind of abuse. And so I pre-boarded a whole bunch of blasts, and it paid off a whole bunch of times in the games that I played. So I put a lot of the blasts to deal with red cards in my main. There's a lot of red.
Red was very popular. Red and Blood Moon and that sort of strategy. I myself picked the blue red deck, which had, you know, it looked pretty strong, and I'd played it a fair bit going into the tournament. Done a bit of testing and gotten sort of used to the deck. I also played it at the previous Invitational.
Okay, yes, you did actually. Yep.
So I was quite familiar with that deck. Little did I know that everyone was going to rock up with that list.
I think that deck in a typical Highlander tournament is going to be one of the best decks in the room, but I don't think it's the best deck in the room when it's got the biggest.
When it's got a bunch of mirrors and a bunch of mono red.
Because the mirrors, I don't know for sure, but it seems pretty miserable to be the.
Funnily enough, I don't think I played a mirror.
Okay, sure.
But I don't think I cast a Murktide for the entire tournament.
Yep.
I don't think I cast a Ragavan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, a lot of things went wrong for me, but that's okay. That happens. Like a brainstorm into a Hull Breacher.
Yep.
That was an instant concede.
Yeah.
And then the next game was like a turn 2 Leovold. And it's just like, I've got a deck full of cantrips. So, yeah, that didn't turn out very well either.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let's have a look.
We played our games were pretty sweet.
So, we're going to test our memories here.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Rob's Highlander deck. So he's obviously gone, what's that, that's 6 wins? So he went 6-1. So that's pretty good. His Highlander deck was
Red
Eldrazi. It was pretty out there. Pretty out there. But he was playing a lot of Batter Skulls.
That's right, yeah.
Against mono red decks. So yeah, he was crushing a lot of these decks, and they were not expecting what he was bringing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he gave them a bit of beating. Kynan, also 6-1. He was the one that cleaned me up with the Hull Breacher and the Leovold.
Yep.
Playing
4 colours.
So he was, his deck was pretty cool.
Yeah.
An interesting deck against a bunch of Blood Moons, but if you know, if you go on Hull Breachers and in terms of Leovolds, that's pretty good against them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And yeah, he did well. So he was. So what did he 4-8 Highlander?
2-1 limited.
So 2-1 limited. So he's 4-1, and Rob's 3-1 Highlander. I don't know who he lost to. Leo with the 5-2. Leo's on blue red as well. Right. He made a couple little changes to the deck. Mm-hmm. Played one of the best winning-ins against Trent you'll ever see.
Yes.
Trent will be complaining about that for like in the next several years.
I was there when it happened.
Oh
so
yeah.
I don't blame him.
I was quite drunk in that. Well, it would have been round 7 at the time. Well, not drunk, but I was, you know, enjoying myself because I was definitely out of contention by that stage. And Leo cast a brainstorm, and I've just got up on a brainstorm. Little did I know this was like absolute tension. Middle of the game, and Leo's just burst out laughing. So I think I broke the tension, and Leo's gone on to draw very, very well and get the win against Trent to knock him out of the top 8, which was quite surprising. No one had really had Trent missing.
No, definitely not.
So good on Leo for getting up there. Gibbo, late inclusion to the tournament, and he's just a solid card player. Fab, Magic, whatever you want. He's gonna bring a pretty good deck in a pretty tough game. I think he was on mono red, picking
right.
a deck the night before the tournament, and it's like jumped on mono red and beat up some people with it. So he was 2-1. So what's that, a 3-1 with the mono red deck? Yeah, and that's the 5-2. So there's a lot of 4-3s making it.
Yeah, yep.
Here, which is quite unusual.
It is.
Normally we have like 2 of them squeeze into a 7-round tournament. Yeah. Yep. There were very few draws, like one draw right between Trent and Ian, and they both missed.
That's right.
So we've run 45-minute rounds at these things previously to try and get through them faster. We did the full 50-minute rounds, and obviously it's made an effect.
I think the draw was in Highlander too, which is
not
surprising.
Yeah,
pretty complex games. Running at the top 8, I don't know what Dogan played, but it would have had red in it.
No, I'm pretty sure that was mono red as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Gary on mono red.
Was
he? Yeah, Gary was on mono red.
He was on a really old list, wasn't he? He didn't. I'm not sure if he had many, or if any MH2 cards.
I'm not sure.
He went 1-3.
Yeah, he beat me.
So he beat you with what did he beat you with, the Blood Mooners on?
He beat me with I was playing for the 4-0.
I beat you with the Wasteland or something.
Turns out that if I had won that game,
you were in.
would have been in. But yeah, basically lost because I didn't activate my Wasteland twice.
Oh, you didn't activate
it?
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. So the 6 mana for his hasty 4/4 and it. Yeah, killed me over 2 turns. I was winning the race.
Earthbreaker.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know there was a playable card in Highlander.
If I blew up his land, he wouldn't have cast it in time.
No. So. Okay.
Bad beats.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Chissa also on blue-red, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So some guys had some success. I mean, Chiss was 1-2.
That's right.
So he's 1-2. Yeah. So what's he's 3-1? 3-1 squeezed in front of Swanee.
Yes.
Who was also 1-2.
End of the draft, yeah.
That's right, so he's 3-2, but he's got a terror. I think he's got the worst OMP out of everyone there.
That's right. Yeah.
It's somehow worse than Timmy's. I don't know how that's happened, but
bad one.
Yeah, he's yeah.
So I know they had the heroics of both winning the draft, 4-0ing the Highlander and making the top 8.
Yeah, I know. That would have been you would have been able to stick it to us for that, but I think unfortunately,
so. Well, have to save it for the next one.
Yeah, and then a lot of good players there. There's Trent, Ian, Kyle, Dan played well.
Yep.
I mean, Pete's coming off a big win in the Triple G. What's it called? The Good Games Greensboro series. Yeah. And Tristan in his first tournament was good to have him there.
Yeah.
Soon to be brother-in-law.
Yeah, if they don't have to move it again.
Yes. Yeah. So now he fitted in great, and he's coming to the Invitational. So it'll be good to see him again.
He picked blue red as well. Has a little legacy experience from a couple of years ago and played some really good games against me.
Not many people have legacy experience.
No, exactly. Yeah, so that was good. I mean, he had a great time.
Real card legacy.
Yeah.
Where did he get a legacy deck from?
Oh, he had blue red Delver. Bought Jewel Lands when they were a couple $100 each.
Does he still have them?
No, he sold them.
Unlucky.
But he sold them for the wedding ring, so it's a good.
So fairly recently then.
He would have sold them when he stopped playing 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So
unlucky.
Yes, unlucky.
And that's your top 8 there. So left to right, Dogan, Rob, Alex, Leo, Gaz on Leo's shoulders up there. Giro, Chiss, and Kynan. Kynan looking confident.
Yeah, strong top 8.
Yeah, it's a very strong top 8. Even with the big names missing, it's still a very strong top 8. So there we have the the top 8, and that's a photo taken as they're shaking hands to start their finals.
Seconds before they begin. Yeah.
So they drafted Crimson Vow again, and I don't actually have the match results. I know who won each of them, but I've put them all in as 2-0 because I don't actually know what they were there. But Rob versus Chiskon and Alex, Leo, Gary. Giro versus Dogan. Now, I loved Leo's draft deck.
Okay.
It looked sick.
Yep.
So I think he was pretty disappointed to lose to Gary in that round. I definitely thought he was going to go quite well with it. I think he had a really, really good blue-black.
That's a shame, yeah.
What's the exploit?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, his deck looks sick, but no. You can't win them all. It happens.
No, definitely.
It happens. While I was watching, it looked pretty intense, that best of 3 that they had. I'm not too sure about any of the other matches. I think Rob versus Chiss. Trent. We need Trent here for a bit of commentary on that. Apparently, Chiss brought it in the act of treason.
Okay. Oh yes.
And stole one of Rob's creatures and got snuck a game 3 win. So that one probably was 2-1.
Fantastic.
And pretty sneaky move that Rob didn't see coming and cleaned him up. And Trent said it was a very good sideboarding move. I'm not sure I would think of Act of Treason as a sideboard card, but obviously it worked. So good work. But yeah, Chissa couldn't get there over Gary in the top 4.
Yeah, steam train.
Gary's just, he was crushing everyone. And Alex versus Dogan. Alex's deck had a lot of bombs and looked very strong. The Overbook Caretaker. And old Rusty. Rustine. Was he 3-color? Or was he just green-black? I thought I saw some red. I can't remember that.
I can't remember either, to be honest. I, after losing my last round, decided to take round 1 of the finals in the Esky, in the pub.
Yeah.
So I definitely missed that. I wouldn't have been surprised because I know he, from watching the last round, the actual finals, he used that treasure that Rudstone makes to some good effect. So I don't know if it was just for the ramp or but that definitely is a good card.
It all gets very hazy for me around this time period.
Absolutely.
The final, as you can see, we had it. It's all on camera, so hopefully we'll get that up on the Faction channel at some stage. I think Trent was planning to do some commentary over it, and hopefully we can get that going. But everyone's.
I think we've got the whole top 8 one round.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
which is fantastic.
Everyone's been pretty busy post, so hopefully we can get some content out shortly. But we've managed to find time to do this, and hopefully a bit more to come. So Alex versus Gary, it went down to the wire.
Yeah, and
it really
did.
Keep
in mind this was at like 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
After playing 9 rounds.
The peanut gallery, pretty much led by myself. I'm sorry to say, we're in full effect. There was a lot of giggling, a lot of yelling, a lot of madness going on behind the scenes.
Mike's one in tears crying.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty shambolic from us. But these guys got to play their game, and they had Trent pretty much just flexing in front of them, just trying to keep everyone at bay, as telling us off.
He tried.
He tried.
I tried. We all tried.
You didn't really. You were part of the peanut gallery, I'm sorry to say. There's a good photo of it looks like I'm about to pour a drink on top of your head during this round in the photo gallery. I should have put that up on the spreadsheet, but no. There's some good photos going around, a few dares, which I'm not going to go too much further into. You might hear that secondhand in the grapevine somewhere, but it was a good final. I did actually get involved in game 3 and start watching and paying attention when it was close, and Alex had Alex's old Rusty decked his Overbook.
Yeah, and a couple other really, really powerful cards for the situation. He's definitely behind.
Yeah,
you just watch him mill the card and his face would drop.
Yeah, but he's still getting value out of every mill, and he was complaining that his good cards are being milled, but he's still getting card advantage and doing all this other extra stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So I thought he was in a good position the whole way through, but Gary had some flyers. He was blue-white, and he had some ways of getting through and some maneuvers he could pull. So it was close.
It was really close.
Alex finally drew the Resurrection, or the
the 5 mana.
Yeah.
Reanimate spell.
Yeah, I'm so old school. I'm going Resurrection, which is an old white card, but What's Zombify? Is another. It's also a very old card. What's a modern version of one of those reanimate? It's a reanimate effect. And he pulled his Overbook Caretaker out of the graveyard straight into play. Yeah,
5 mana reanimate, or if you discard it, you can pay 1.
It's a mad. It's got pseudo madness. Essentially not madness, but they don't know keywords on the
same. That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, he did the other version and just put his Overbook Caretaker straight back into play, and it took over the game.
Yeah, almost instantly.
There was talk of Gary having a couple of lines which possibly could have got him there, but it was...
Seems slim. Yeah.
Seems slim, yeah. That's a crazy card. Alex had that much advantage that his caretaker, his old Rusty had given him, that he just had got to the point where he just overwhelmed him and ran him over, and the hand was shook, and Alex got to hold up the shield.
It's got to be a good feeling, Shane.
Yeah, it is. It's been a long time since I got to do it. In a much smaller field. It would be nice to get back there again, but we'll have to wait another year. So congratulations to Alex. He was runner-up against me that first one.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So he's been around the top. He's actually Mr. Champs. which is probably a good thing for the rest of us because we can't. He's been very, very strong. His Highlander game is pretty good. He beat me with his his deck doesn't seem like it's doing that much good stuff. But it just ekes out wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I guess it's a sort of death and taxes sort of thing going on there, and
same vibe.
Yeah. Oh, he's hot. Yeah. Is it white, green, black?
Probably. Yeah.
Because he got out the 2-mana guy that every time you cast a spell during their turn it makes a token, Voice of Resurgence.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, it just completely screwed me. I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, for sure.
But so his Highlander deck was cool. Got him there, got him to 3-1.
Perfect.
And obviously 2-1 in the first draft, losing to Gary, and then 3-0 obviously to win it, beating Gary. Well done to Alex, and he is now pretty much top of the leaderboard.
Absolutely.
I think I've got the leaderboard. So this is Faction Majors. So this is Champs and Invitationals. And you can see he's got the 5 appearances. So there's not many of us left on the 6 appearances. It's you, me, Rob, and Kyle, and Pete.
Wow. Okay.
And Pete cannot make the Invitational, unfortunately.
Okay, sure.
So it's gonna drop down again. For people that are 100% attendance. 100% attendance actually looks pretty good because 3 of us have won. You, me, and Rob. So, the more events you play, the more chance you got of winning. You got to get lucky sometime, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But Alex now on top with the runners up and the win. And he had people. It's a typical Alex, right? He runs hot or he runs cold.
Yeah.
So his win percentage 57 is good, but he's come first and second.
Yeah.
You would think it would be up in the 60s, but Rob's the same. He's had a couple of shocking tournaments, but look, he's made the finals 4 times and had a win.
Yep.
So he must have had one really bad tournament where he finished last or something.
I think it might have been the first one.
Yeah, he definitely had a few drinks that night. And you're still sitting up there. Looking pretty good.
My percentage took a hit, but
you still got the 3-4, which is not that bad. I mean, I got the 2-5, which has put me. I'm still in the 60s, but
I think for an event like this, especially with 6 appearances, anything above 60% is kind of insane. Just have a look at the fact that 4 different people have kind of won this particular event, and we've got 3 different winners for the.
When 6 events, 6 winners.
So no one's changed. No one's ever doubled up, which is speaks to kind of.
Alex has got the closest. That's why he's up the top.
Yeah.
And then you see people like Ian and Trent with the highest win percentages, right? And Kynan.
Yep.
Kynan had to win the first Invitational, but Ian and Trent, they've got to be due.
Yeah.
That's scary. How am I going to get a second one with these two? Grabbing and clawing to get there first. I mean, they're going to be. Yeah, they both finished out because they had a draw against each other.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're going to be bloodthirsty to get back and do well at this Invi, and they've got to be very practiced in all the formats.
For sure.
A lot of limited there for Trent as well. So yeah.
You got Leo on the coin flip there for 50-50.
Yeah. I mean, where's Hoodie? Hoodie's had his stupid amount of draws. So he's sitting at a 49% win rate, but he's 20 and 16.
He's got 5 draws and the whole team.
Yeah, exactly. The guy that said he never gets draws has got 5. And
it is really cool to kind of have this information.
Yes,
it's really interesting.
I am going to start getting some spreadsheet wizards working on it to make sure that it's accurate.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I know it's pretty good, but I'm not sure it's 100%. So we'll get this sorted before I reckon the next one goes through. But it's pretty cool to have that and to sort of track how everyone's going. There's some good players that are sitting around the middle towards the bottom of this that want to fight their way up. So it definitely gives more motivation as well. So
it'd be really cool to pull their head-to-heads together. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's another thing we want to do. So once we get the spreadsheet, that'll have to be done through. We actually have all the results from every pairing through all the tournaments, so it is possible to pull that apart and see how many times I've beaten Hoodie.
That's pretty much what I want for too.
Before we go into what's coming up, is there anything else you wanted to talk about for the event? I mean, the Saturday night was awesome fun. We got to stay out. We stayed up till was both nights, Friday night, Saturday night. We stayed up till who knows how late playing poker. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks to all the guys that ran that. Gibbo, I did a lot of work. Dan for bringing his set along. He also did a lot of work. That was awesome. Just the table tennis battles that happened throughout the weekend. I had a lot of fun with that.
For sure. Just a big thanks to everyone that came. You know, wouldn't be as fun without every individual person that's there.
Exactly.
So,
we love you guys. You made an absolute ball, and you know.
Well, I'm starting to feel old. I remember being able to drink a lot more and not feeling so shit the next day. So.
Yeah, I was alright. It hit me a bit later in the week because I had a few more late nights.
Sure, yeah.
And then I felt a bit run down come like the middle of the week, which was odd, but you know.
And how impressive is it to have 20 people in one room without anyone having...
yes, we did our rat tests for everyone that showed up, and no one had to go into rats, and no one got it.
After, just phenomenal. I reckon you take 20 people from Victoria at random, and you get 2 or 3. So
a lot of the guys were being very sensible in the lead up to this to make sure they didn't have it so they could attend. Heartfelt. My heart goes out to Braden, whose brother got it, who he lives with, so he couldn't make it, and you know I think that's the first one he's missed.
Yep.
So we can't wait to have you at the Envy, Braden. You were missed. And Hoodie obviously couldn't make it. He had some family stuff that had to be attended to, and you know, family comes first. So,
absolutely.
But Hoodie came on the Saturday night
just
to,
really good
to hang out with the boys, and it was great having him there. It was, unfortunately, he couldn't play, but you know, family first.
Yeah, 100%.
And we can't wait to have him aboard again and going. So
get Pete in round 1 like we normally do. That'd be good.
Yeah. Did I play Pete? I normally play Pete in every event.
Oh, I do remember that.
But I'm not sure if it happened. I can't remember playing him for once. The whole thing ran very smoothly. I did spread myself a bit thin, trying to cook a large roast dinner in the Weber barbecue whilst trying to play Highlander. I know, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Alex, but I know I was running out a lot during our match, and you know, checking the meat and getting it all cooking correctly. So I think
it was the TO that you get a little time extension. It's all good.
It definitely didn't help my thought process in a very tight. It actually was a very tight match. But that's fine. I think there'll be a lot more. Expect to have a bit more work thrown at you for the next one.
That sounds good.
We're going to run it a little bit differently, but it's going to be just as big and as exciting as ever.
Yeah, makes sense.
We're going back to 8 rounds.
Yep.
Three different formats.
Great.
Sealed is coming back. Sealed, Highlander,
Sealed.
Draft, and then Rochester. So 4 different formats.
Yep. Another opportunity for Transdeck to fly away with the wind. That'll be good.
Yeah. It's a great venue down there in Philippine. It was such a good venue. We're going back. And we hope we potentially have some guys flying in if they can make it.
Fantastic.
So we'll have a chat to those guys soon, and because it's coming around quick. It's in.
I know.
We've got 4 months.
Yep.
4 months. So
basically already there.
Yeah. And it's going to be an absolute beauty.
And a bigger event too, so that'd be really cool.
Yes. I think it's going to break a record for the most people we've had at a major.
Fantastic.
It can be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. Thanks everyone again for just helping out with the whole weekend. I can think of just 10 people that helped all over the weekend in just major ways. I swear Tristan was asking me every 5 minutes what can I do to help, and there was stuff for him to do, and it was a ripper. So I appreciate that. I know Timmy and Leo on the barbecue. Alex spent his Sunday morning with a vacuum. He won the event and then vacuumed the entire house on a Sunday morning.
Seems fair. Yeah.
So thanks, Alex. That was a huge help. So thanks to everyone. I'm sure I'm missing some people, but you know. Thank you everyone out there for all your efforts, and we'll be doing it again soon. So what else have we got? We've got
it's a bit sparse over the next couple of months, but there's still a couple of things happening.
We're trying to get down to Geelong in the start of March for a Highlander. Mulch has been spruiking that on the 7 Point Highlander page. I think
it's just after a points announcement too, so that'll be interesting.
Great. Okay, I'm planning to borrow a deck, so
I think
might be able to borrow a deck and edit it at the last minute, but yes.
I think there's some big shake-ups coming from what I've heard from the cryptic.
Well, that'll make the Envy interesting as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've just bought all these decks on Magic Online, so might be able to get rid of my Ragavan before it gets banned in Modern, and the price drops from 100 ticks to 5.
Yeah, I have a feeling that might have a couple of points.
Yeah, Ragavan is an interesting one. But yeah, so that'll be cool. If we'll try and get a crew together down for that, and if you're outside the faction, come up and say hi to us. If you see some of the guys down for that one, if you play Fab. There are a bunch of essentially PTQs. They're called Pro Quests.
Yeah, that's right.
3 of them in 3 weekends. They're all in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they're small number of people. I think there are only a couple of tickets left for each of them. I'm still trying to work out whether I play or not. I've played a handful of games. The game itself was really cool.
I know how to play the game. I don't know how to play it anywhere near to the point that I'd want to.
An event, yeah. Fortunately, they're constructed, so you can kind of just rock up and see what happens. Been easier than trying to play the draft that I tried to play on Friday.
Yeah. I mean, I still think I'm a long way off doing that. The thing that I know it's going to be a paper-only game forever, but I got good at Magic when Magic Online came out. I just jam a million games, and all of a sudden I was like, and it clicked, and all of a sudden I was, getting right up to the business end of PTQs and GPs and.
Which what seems to be like the best parts about combat from Magic. So
I'm still working that out. Still working that out. Yep. But no, I do intend to play some more Fab, and there will be some faction guys at this at these events. I'm not sure if they're going all 3 or some of them, but yeah, again, get along. It's pretty awesome. I'm not sure how going to New Jersey in May is going to go, but
yeah, that's a good follow-up point.
but yeah, I mean, if you're going for free, you put a mask on and off you go. Not sure how, if you've got a young family, how you go. But if I was 25, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd jump on that plane. I'm triple vax, so I can't see. That. I mean, it's gonna be fun. It'd be fun. I mean, the last Pro Tour I went to was 10 years ago, or more now.
Sure.
And I'd love to do it again. It was
awesome.
The Envy, of course, which we've been talking about a lot over this, is up in May.
A jewel in the crown of the event schedule.
It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to do go-karting again.
I
just want to get on that go-kart track and organise an actual race.
I might
instead of a stupid time trial.
I'm thinking about how whether I'm going to participate in that, because Hoodie nearly ran me off the track 7 times last time. I think it's a bit dangerous.
Just get it back.
Go-karts.
Don't take that shit. Hoodie and I were very aggressive on that. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that. Maybe some golf, but there's going to be a lot of Magic, especially playing 8 rounds.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm taking Friday and Monday off.
Yeah,
so I'm planning to get down there real early on the Friday, and I don't know, maybe have a hit of golf before we even get the venue or something like that. I don't know. That's to be worked out in the next 4 months, and you'll be hearing us talk. You'll be hearing the guys on the podcast talk a lot about that, and maybe some more content. Hoodie and I might be back to do some odds and have a chat about who we think is gonna do that and what the plans are. But yeah, that'll be super exciting. We love that tournament. Our faction basketball team, we hope to have that up and running again. We've moved away from Elfin. We're moving to a different stadium and system, so that should be starting up again after Easter. I'm not sure how we're going for player numbers. We might be, if you want to get in touch with us and say you like playing some ball,
great.
Get in touch. Because now that COVID, I'd sort of
under control,
a little bit better. I'm going to book out the basketball courts again and get us down to do some more of that.
It's always good fun.
So yeah, hopefully that'll ramp up again soon. And we're looking for a venue for a Team Sealed tournament. We had one, and the guy who runs the Airbnb that we're going to run this tournament at is demolishing the house. So it's no longer available for when we needed it. So we are in the lookout for a venue. I've called around a couple of scout halls.
Sure.
Trying to see if that's available. They're expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
So you'd want large numbers, and one of them said you need to have a security guard who's also your COVID marshal, which would cost a fortune to have someone working there the entire day as well. But that was only for one council that were doing that. So anyway, they're the sort of things that we're dealing with trying to run these events.
So if we've got a spare mansion, let us know.
Yeah, that's Dan, can hurry up and buy a house. That's a giant house for us to come and annoy you in. But yeah, that's if anyone knows of anything that's a potential, let me know and I'll look into it, because we are excited to have a bit of Team Sealed going on. sometime anywhere in the next 6 months, I guess, if we can get it up and going. I mean, Kamigawa comes out next weekend, which looks like an amazing set.
It does.
One thing I noticed, there's not as many bombs, I don't think.
That is exciting.
And I saw on Twitter, it's the set with the most words ever for a Magic set.
Okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading.
I think you could beat Kaldheim, but
the pre-release is going to have a lot of reading. So if I see you out, I might go to Maze of Fitzroy this weekend. If I see you there, say good day. But there, if I'm not reading cards, apparently. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to bring up, or?
No, I'm just looking forward to some of these events that are coming up, and still got my fingers crossed that GPs and Pro Tours return.
That's always the thing we're looking for, and just even some sort of PTQ system, which we do miss sorely, but
yeah, just something to put a bit of reason behind playing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to learn Fab if it doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's been it. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to the whole Faction team and everyone that came for making it such a brilliant event, and yeah, we love you guys, and we love the community, and can't wait to see some people out at Highlander tournaments and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, thanks for spending this time with us, and
all right, see you guys.